One of the goals of this infrastructure bill, because it's a jobs bill, is to get the dollars out the door quickly so that, we can begin transportation projects, we can begin extension of broadband, we can begin the transition of these buses and the retraining of workers, so we can do all of that.
BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
I like a bank that's a pillar in my community.
I like a bank so cutting edge, they have a lab branch.
We are so alike.
Well, we do both bank at Farmers National Bank.
Farmers.
Stand strong.
For years, as you know, presidents of both parties have promised infrastructure investment in a big way and made major campaign promises, and it took this president and new Senate to finally do infrastructure. And we're able to do it bipartisan. Senator Portman and I worked a lot on this together. Primarily, the infrastructure bill is a jobs bill. It's going to create huge numbers of jobs all over this state and all over this country. This bipartisan infrastructure bill that Senator Portman and I and others worked on means dollars today, $1.5 million already to this transit system. But it will all mean $32 million over 5 years, and that's to replace buses with clean emission buses. It's to build charging stations. It's to continue to attract good, high-quality workers. It's to expand service.
With the new infrastructure bill, our funding we receive will increase by 50% over the next 5 years, and this will allow us to start replacing our buses. We have at least $10 million of buses to replace in that 5-year time period. We also are hoping to do some infrastructure improvements. Our facility here is pretty tight. We would like to expand it, and we're hoping with the there's also opportunity for discretionary funding through the infrastructure bill, and we hope to take advantage of those funding to expand our facility here. We have a grant request in to update our bus barn to include charging for the future electric buses we plan on buying when we replace our buses. And a federal station, we'd like to upgrade that. There's just so many projects we would like to do. Transportation is important because a lot of people don't have access to cars, and they need transportation to work, to school, to medical, even especially get food. Food deserts are a big concern for a lot of people because there's so few local grocery stores anymore.
47 of the big buses, most of them will transition over time to low emission or no emission buses. That's what we're trying to do all over the state. And as we move in that direction, paying special attention to make sure that job training, all of his mechanics know how to do diesel engines and the very highly skilled work they do there. We're working with them in these transit grants. There will be job retraining money so people don't lose their jobs and they can continue to work. It's a service that really, really matters for a whole lot of people in this community, and we have a responsibility to make sure it's still here. And it's good for job growth. It's good for the workers here, and it's good for the people whom they serve. In federal dollars, this is the big chunk that's coming in through the bipartisan infrastructure bill. There are still significant federal dollars on highways and bridges and water and sewer systems, from Austintown to Salem to Struthers to Warren. Transit, like other things to me, is about the dignity of work. It's about making sure that we put workers at the center of our economic policy, of our jobs policy. That's what we did when my committee put together the huge amounts of dollars we're putting into local transit to make sure that workers were at the center, that workers, as we move into new technologies, that workers aren't forgotten. And my job is to make sure as these transit dollars and other public infrastructure dollars come into Mahoning Valley that we get our fair share.
I like a bank that's a pillar in my community.
I like a bank so cutting edge, they have a lab branch.
We are so alike.
Well, we do both bank at Farmers National Bank.
Farmers.
Stand strong.